for Baker Mayfield, who dislocated his shoulder week 2 while making a tackle after a turnover. Quarterbacks don't do that. Use Baker Mayfield as an example. Don't do it. He dislocated it again yesterday. He was in a sling after the game. Here he is talking about a shoulder injury. Given the reality, Browns play Thursday night at home against the Broncos.
Feels like
worse than the first time?
probably. I'm gonna get MRIs and stuff tomorrow, so we'll be able to find out more.
Do you have a sense if you'll be able to keep playing through this, Baker?
I do.
You will be able to keep playing through it?
Yes.
Is it, I mean, maybe you don't know yet, but is it the same, like a re-aggravation of the injury? Is it something new?
It dislocated again and then slipped out again on a non-contact play, so just got to figure out a way to get better.
You know, he's got the desire, he's got the drive, he's got the passion, he's got the second contract still pending. He's got a lot of reasons to want to play through this and to believe that he can, but there's only so much that the will can do in a situation like that. We got a quick turnaround. This is a chronic injury for him. It felt like the first injury, even though it's the non-throwing shoulder, was affecting his performance. And they've got a pretty good backup in Case Keenum. This is going to be a decision that is not going to be an easy one for Coach Kevin Stefanski, because Baker Mayfield may be insisting, Mike, I'm fine. I'm sure that happens plenty of times where the player says, I'm fine. Somebody else has to be the voice of reason and say, you're not fine, you need some time off. Players don't want to give up that spot, especially at quarterback, because there's no guarantee you're ever going to get it back. Now, I think Baker Mayfield doesn't have to worry about being Wally Pipp by Case Keenum, but still, he doesn't want to give up that spot, not as he's trying to establish himself and get that second contract that he thinks he's already earned.
Right. We keep talking about these second quarterbacks, some guys that have already gotten paid in that class, and something that he's looking to get as well. So this one brings back a lot of memories, Mike, because most of my surgeries are on my shoulders, and I had a shoulder, what his is doing, would pop in and out, subluxing. And I played probably the last 5-6 games of the year. That's when it was happening its worst, before I ended up having reconstructive surgery on it after the season. But that's what you live through. It would slide out, slide back in a game, in practice. It would happen. I'm a D lineman, so, luckily for him, it's his off shoulder. It's not his throwing shoulder, but he's going to get it hit a lot more than I would. Mine was more tugging and pulling and feeling the effect of it when I was doing that, and it would slide. So his is his off shoulder. They can have harnesses now where you can keep it down a little bit. It all depends on his comfort level and how it would affect other things he does, because he is a guy that loves to take off. And he is a guy, though, that when he gets, yesterday, fumbled twice and had the one interception. So he's going to get hit. He's that guy that does, because he tries to make something happen. So how much can you do that with a shoulder that, let me just say right now, if he's going to play every week, it's not getting any better. It's not. And you got a lot of season to go. So do you rest it for a couple of weeks to try and have it get a little better? Because as you're going out and getting hit, it's just re-injuring. And every time it slides out and comes back in, it's going to slide out a little easier that next time. That's just what happens. So how much of that can he take? How much affects his performance? And how much until it gets to the point where you say, players want to play. Are you good? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm going to play, until somebody steps in and takes their helmet and say, you know what? I know you want to play, but we don't think it's good for you right now to play. We don't think the performance is there, or the injury could take itself to the point where it's going to need way more recovery. It sounds like this one already is going to need to get worked on after the season, unless you just do regular rehab on it and not have to go in, because the last thing in the world you want to do is open somebody up and go in. You always want to avoid that. But the longer you keep playing with something like that, the more the odds are it's going to have to get operated on after the season. So how much can he take, and how much does it affect his play, are the big things going forward, because it's the non-throwing shoulder.
And the easy thing to say about the Browns would be, I'll just put in Case Keenum. You got a great running game. Well, Nick Chubb missed the game with a calf injury, and Kareem Hunt, the 1A to Nick Chubb's 1, he had a non-contact calf injury. Coach Kevin Stefanski said after the game it's not Achilles, but it did not look good, and they play again in 3 days. Even if it is a strain of the calf or whatever, the chances of him being ready to go full speed by Thursday night, I would not put a major wager on that. So it's going to be next man up. at the running back position. It may be next man up at the quarterback position, and this is what happens.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.